Hi there, it's Melissa, and I'm so happy to be back with you today. Today I am carrying on with what I did last week. I made my traveller's notebook with the scraps of my jade kit, and I received my Belle kit a couple of days after that, so I was really excited. And rather than do a layout, which is usually what I do first, I was just so excited to create something in this notebook aside from the actual cover. So straight into the first page, I've got the one of the Chamel stencil, I guess they're called stencils, and I've just used the orange Kaisercraft iridescent spray. So here I've got some photos. If you had watched my video last week, you'll know that this album is called How She Sleeps 2017, and it's all about Belle. And often I go into her bedroom and she's just really cute because it's a big girl bed. She's 3 now. She's been in it for a few months, but she often has our cat Lola in with her, or one time I even went in and she had fallen onto the floor and was still asleep. So I just go in and take photos. But for this opening page, because the left side or inside cover of the book, it talks about the intention of the book, which is capturing these photos of her and recording them. And I thought rather than jump right into a sleeping photo, I would start with one of her just awake and normal. And so I took this really sweet photo of her out by a fence in our backyard, and I had the wrong photo there. But I decided to use this cut apart heart because I thought it would look really cute with the stenciled hearts. And I wanted to keep the striped paper on the background because I thought it was cute. And so what I've done is just get my X-Acto knife and I've cut the part of the heart that I want to sit over the top of the photo. And this is something that I've done a lot of times before. I don't think I've done it for the Scrappery. So think outside of the box with your embellishments. And if you love 2 parts of the embellishment or cut apart, you can keep them and still make them work in quite an interactive, layered kind of way. And I had some empty space on the photo, so I'm loving how that's looking. I've adhered it with double-sided tape. I wanted to make sure it lined up straight, and I just lined my photo up with the lines on the paper and then lined the little cut apart up with the corner of my page. And I must say I'm really enjoying this canvas size. It's different, and I've done A4 size, which is like 8.5 by 11. I've done 8 by 8. I've done various mini albums. One of my December dailies is just in a notebook, but I've never actually done Traveller's Notebook, and I have to say I love it. So here I've got a little flag sticker off the sticker sheet, and I did think about putting it on the photo, but it didn't look quite right. But I have found a phrase, and it says, "Cherish these moments," and I've just layered it over the top of the heart. So this is how I store my kits, this is how I store the embellishments, and I've taken everything out of its packaging because that for me is the best way to use things, and I like to see them all together. So I'm just going through the ephemera pieces now and working out what's going to look good. I found that this really flowed quite easily. I didn't think too much about it, I just went with what looked good with the colours that I'm using. And I love that the fence, the wooden fence on the photo is quite neutral, and she's wearing a blue top and I think black tights, so it works really easily. So I found a butterfly. I did think about fussy cutting one out of the paper, but there was already one as a die cut, so that was perfect. And I've just adhered that with some Tombow. And then that's a little, I guess it's a tab, or yes, it's a tab, and it says love, and I've just put that up in the top, and it bridges the gap between the edge of the cut apart square and the edge of the notebook. So here I've used a flower, and then that little ticket says issued to, and then it says love lifetime pass, and I just think that's beautiful. So I've layered that underneath the flower, just wanting to hold them down, make sure they stick. I did think about using that bow, but it doesn't make it to this page. And then I've got from one of the Pretty Little Pieces kits the word love, and I'm just adhering that with Tombow as well. And I love that Renell includes unusual or different kind of things for us in our kits. Now off camera, before I get to that, this is what I do with my enamel dots. I staple them to the packaging so that I know which collection or where they're from, and I've just added a couple there, a pink one and a blue one, and then above the butterfly I've added another bigger pink one and smaller bigger blue one and smaller pink one. So off camera I tested out black and silver pens, and I found that silver worked really well, not only with the card on the left, which is a grey colour, but it wasn't too overpowering. And the paper in this notebook is just normal printer paper, so it's a bit thinner than I'd like. So I wanted to make sure I had a pen that didn't bleed through. And I think with a notebook, like when you think of a notebook, you think of journaling. So I want to make sure that I include as much journaling as I can about the photos. So here is one of the cut-apart sheets that you get in the PLK, and I love this beautiful floral. And I have 2 photos. I just size my photos on the Project Life app by Becky Higgins, and then you can save them to your camera roll, and then I print them at home. So this one, it prints out, I think it's 4 3x2s. And so here I'm first of all adhering that beautiful paper, and I want to make sure I've got an even border on the top and the sides. I use double-sided tape because I'm running low on Tombow, really. That's the main reason. And here, these photos are her on the couch. So not all these photos will be taken at night. She was just so tired and fell asleep. And I think of this as the sleeping Doc McStuffins, because she got my washi tape and bandaged up her baby's leg with them, and then she just got her blankets, which she loves, and fell asleep. So really quite sweet. I've put a white border on all my photos as always, because I need some visual separation from the busy backgrounds of the paper. So I've layered a little sticker tag, and it says here and now, and I did think about using that on my previous page. That is the bow that I looked at before as well, and I'm just wanting to find something else to place in that little gap, or where the 2 photos overlap. So I thought about this heart, but it's not looking quite right, and I decided to go with another butterfly. So I've just put a little bit of Tombow in the middle of the butterfly. I haven't adhered it fully. I think with the other one on the other page, I folded it slightly and only adhered the right side so that the left side kind of floats up a bit. Now, it's not major dimension. I don't want to go too full on with dimension, because I've been watching other people's videos and a lot of them comment about how full and chunky these albums can get. Now, don't get me wrong, I love chunky. I love a chunky mini album, but I think with this one I don't want to go too full on to start with. So this is my first ever Traveller's Notebook, so we'll see how I go. So I was just thinking about adding something else, but in the instance of this one, with the busy background, less is definitely more. So these are gorgeous little alpha stickers. They're like a vellum, and they're by Imaginease. And I did think about using pink, but then I thought, no, Melissa, push yourself. Don't revert back to your safe colour that you always use. So I went with green because I thought it worked quite well with just, I guess, a contrast, but of course it goes with the kit because everything goes together. And what I originally wanted was Belle McStuffins, but that was going to be too much. And so I've just gone with a simple love, and it did look a bit funny like that, but I'll come back and fix it soon. I did think about adding a whole lot more enamel dots, but while I made up my mind, I did my journaling. So I just journaled about what I just told you, how she was so tired after bandaging and then fell asleep. And I mentioned Doc McStuffins because she loves watching that. And as you can see, you can't see, sorry, that my pen has bled through, so it's perfect. And it's the first time I've ever journaled in silver, and I love it. I might have to do that on my layouts as well. So then I realised that it's an odd gap there, so I've just put, oh, how I love this moment, and then I've underlined that. Sorry if I sound really nasally, it's because I'm getting a cold. And then I just added an enamel dot in the middle of the bow. So here are some close-ups. I hope you enjoyed my process, and next week I will be back with a layout for you. Thank you so much for watching, and take care.